everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After our adventures so far this month, we're about to step foot into a comic book adventure as we play Sentinels of the Multiverse by Greater Than Games. In this game, we're in control of heroes in the Sentinels multiverse, and we're trying to defeat a villain in SAME. So with that all set, of course, we need a villain first, so let's go meet today's villain. Our villain that we're taking on today is Ambuscade, Superhuman Hunter, 50 health to start with. At the start of the game, put Ambuscade's villain character card into play, Superhuman Hunter side up. Reveal cards from the top of the villain deck until H-1 devices are revealed. Put them into play, then shuffle the other revealed cards back into the villain deck. At the end of the villain turn, Ambuscade deals the hero target with the highest HP, H-1 projectile damage. Let's see what devices we get. So we want H-1 device cards. That's not a device, not a device, not a device, not a device, not a device. That one is a device. That is a device. Not a device. That is a device. All right, everything gets shuffled. Everything else that gets revealed gets shuffled back in. We'll give this a quick shuffle off camera, and then we'll go through our devices that we ended up with. Okay. Alright, so our first device that we've got is a custom hand cannon with 5 health on it. At the end of the villain turn, Ambuscade deals the hero with the most cards in play 2 projectile damage. They say the clothes make the man, so much more the tools. Ambuscade, the deadliest game number 3. Alright, we'll get a couple of tokens for that. First we'll get a die for the health, since it's got 5 on it. And we'll get an end of turn marker for that. To remind me, at least I hope there are end of turn tokens in here. And of course there are not. That's actually really annoying. So I'll just have to trust myself to remember that. That is rather unfortunate, but no help for that at this point. Alright. Let me just put these back in. We'll probably need these a little bit later. Our second device card was an automated turret with 8 health. At the end of the villain turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 projectile damage. That is so not one of mine. Look at it. Not cute at all. Unity, Freedom 5, Annual number 11. We'll get 8 health for that one, and that's another end of turn. Okay. 6 and a 2 for 8 damage. Then we've got the Sonic Mine with 1 health. When this card is destroyed, this card deals each hero target 2 sonic damage. Targets dealt damage this way cannot deal damage until the start of the next villain turn. Whoops. Sorry. Expatriate, the deadliest game number 1. Or number 2. Alright, and that one's got 1 health. So ideally, we want to ignore that one since it's not going to do anything until we pop it. So that's everything set up for Ambuscade. Now let's go start meeting the heroes that are going to be taking on Ambuscade today. Our first hero that we're using today is the Wraith. She's a favorite on the channel, probably the Batman equivalent in this world. 27 health, which I've got a dial out here for that rather than a mountain of tokens, because dials are a lot easier to keep track of. Her power is reveal the top card of the environment deck, discard or play it. I'm not going to look at each hero's starting hand because I want to be able to plan out what we're doing. Because I want to be able to I want to see what we're doing on our first turn. So, that's it for Wraith. Now let's go over to our next hero. Our next hero we're taking out today is Fanatic, another favorite on the channel, 30 health. Her power is Exorcism to deal 1 target, 1 melee, and 1 radiant damage. So hopefully we'll be able to start cranking out damage rather quickly. That's it for Fanatic. Again, just going to be lightning quick intros here before we jump in. Let's go to our third hero next. Our third hero is yet another favorite on the channel, as we're taking out Nightmist. With 27 health, her power is Investigation. Power, she'll deal herself 2 infernal damage and draw 2 cards. This power card can get out of my way, because I won't need that today. And with that in mind, so Nightmist will be drawing a lot of cards, presumably, hopefully to help us do more damage. Anyway, let's go meet our last hero on the team today. Our last hero on the team today is Absolute Zero, and we definitely went a lot of offense on this one. He's got 27 health. His special power is Elemental Wrath. Absolute Zero deals 1 non-hero target 2 cold damage. I couldn't read that for a second there. That's also a foil variant that I'm using for Absolute Zero. The environment that we're going to be using today is the Temple of Zhu Long. I've never actually done anything here before, so probably the short story we'll be telling is Ambuscade has been assassinating some of the monks here, judging by the temple. So now we have been brought up to try to stop him here. I know it's a very patchwork story probably isn't even the word I want, but it's basically just something to bring the heroes together. But we're all set to get into this game, so let's start off with our first villain turn, and to have that, we need to work our way over. We need to move back over to Ambuscade. Ambuscade will lead us off by looking through his cards for any start of turn effects, but nothing here. So his first card is an Explosive Launcher, another device, with 6 health. At the end of the villain turn, Ambuscade deals each hero target 3 fire damage. Yikes. That thing needs to go pronto. So we'll get a die out for that. And then end of the turn, Ambuscade deals the hero target with the highest HP, H-1, that's Fanatic, so Fanatic will drop to 27. Then, hero with the most cards in play 2 projectile damage, we'll make that... Technically we're all tied with 0 cards in play, so we'll make that Absolute Zero. I don't want to start dealing Nightmist damage, because she's going to be dealing herself a lot of damage. Then highest HP 2 projectile, we'll make that Wraith this time. And then everybody 3 fire. So we're going to have a lot of damage going out in a hurry in this one. Wraith is down to 22, Ambuscade to 24, Absolute Zero down to 22, and Nightmist down to 24. Okay, we need to get rid of that Explosive Launcher pronto. So let's move down to Wraith and see what we can do about that in our first hero turn. Wraith is going to play out her Razor Ordnance, which gives her a new power. Wraith deals 1 target 3 projectile damage. Compassion is a weakness your enemies will not share. The Wraith, Freedom Fighter number 540. So we'll play that out, and then that will be our power, as we'll hit the Explosive Launcher for 3 projectile damage. Because we do want to, like I said, we do want to ping that down as fast as we can. And then Wraith will draw for turn. She will draw Mega Computer. Equipment. Reduce damage dealt by environment cards by 1. As usual, we won't go through flavor text until we play cards out. That's it for Wraith. Let's move over to Fanatic. In assessing our threat right now, I think the next big... I think after the explosive launcher goes away, I think after that goes away, the next biggest problem is probably going to be... Well, the mine's not going to do anything until we pop it, so I want to ignore that if I can. But I think the custom hand cannon is probably going to be our next problem. Deals one target X projectile damage, where X is the destroyed target's current HP before it was destroyed. Okay, that's actually perfect. So we'll use a final dive to destroy a target with 4 or fewer HP, other than a character card. We'll aim at the explosive launcher with that, where Fanatic will deal one target X projectile damage, where X is the destroyed target's current HP before it was destroyed. Meet thy maker. Fanatic Absolution number 12. So she will destroy the explosive launcher, and then since it had 3 HP left, we'll throw that at the custom hand cannon for another 3 damage to bring it down to 2. Which, funnily enough, is the exact amount of damage Fanatic will be dealing with Exorcism, and that will be enough to wipe out the custom hand cannon. And then Fanatic will draw a card. She will draw Undaunted. Ongoing Limited. Whenever exactly 1 damage would be dealt to Fanatic, prevent that damage. Whenever Fanatic would be dealt 5 or more damage from a single source, reduce that damage by 2. That's it for Fanatic. Now let's move over to Nightmist. Our next order of business is to try to work on that automated turret. Unfortunately, I think Nightmist is Nightmist going to help with that? Nightmist will do a little... I think she'll do some setup. Since she's going to be dealing herself a lot of damage, I want to get her some healing out. So we'll play a Master of Magic to do that. It's ongoing limited. Whenever you play a spell card, Nightmist regains that card's square HP. That'll be something on all of her cards. That'll be a number down here. She'll regain that much HP. Touching sources of arcane power can both strengthen and destroy. Nightmist, the curse number 4. So she's got that in play now. And then her power is she'll deal herself 2 infernal damage to draw 2 cards, which will bring her down to 22. And then she'll draw. From her power, first up she'll draw. Call forth, discard a card. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until the discarded card's numbered relics are revealed. Put the relics into your hand, shuffle the other revealed cards back into your deck, and... Heedless Lash. Reveal the top card of your deck. Nightmist deals herself and one other target that card's square infernal damage. Put the revealed card into your hand or into play. And then for turn, Nightmist will draw Oblivion. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Nightmist deals each target one of the revealed cards' square infernal damage, then deals each non-hero target the other card's revealed square infernal damage. Put the revealed cards into your trash. You shall not enter the... Well, we'll go through flavor text when we play that. That's it for Nightmist. Now let's move over to Absolute Zero. Let's see. Looking at Absolute Zero, he will... What does he want to do this turn? He is going to play out a null point calibration unit. It's an equipment limited module. When Absolute Zero will take cold damage, he regains that much HP instead. Cold is all a matter of perspective. Well, let's hope so anyway. As for his power, he's going to use his Elemental Wrath to deal 2 cold damage. Deals 1 non-hero target. He'll deal that to the automated turret. And then that's it for the hero turns. Let's move over to the Temple of Zhu Long for our first environment turn. We'll get our first look at the Temple of Zhu Long. So coming out here, will be a Shinobi Assassin for 3 health. When this card enters play, it deals the non-environment target with the lowest HP 3 melee damage. When this card would be destroyed, move it to the top of a hero deck instead. When this card would be drawn, discarded, revealed, or played, put it into play in the environment play area. The slightest sigh of a falling leaf was the only sound to mark their passing. All slept soundly through the night. Some never woke again. So it deals the non-environment target with the lowest HP 3 melee. That will be the Sonic Mine, which will deal each hero target 2 sonic damage. But targets dealt damage this way can't deal damage until the start of the next villain turn. Which fortunately jokes on them because that pops during the environment turn. So 2 sonic damage. Wraith to 20, Fanatic to 22, Absolute 0, and Nightmist will also go to 20. So the Assassin pops the mine. Okay. That's it for the Temple of Zhu Long. Now let's move back over to Ambuscade for another villain turn. Getting rid of several of those devices was great, and now the Sonic Mine's restriction has been turned off, so now we can deal damage again. Next card coming up is another Sonic Mine, which we just saw pop earlier, so that's another 1 health. And then Ambuscade will deal target with the highest HP, which is Fanatic, 3 projectile damage. And then Automated Turret will hit hero target with the highest HP, 2 projectile, will hit Wraith with that. We very much need to get rid of that turret next. And I think that's where we'll send Wraith, and we'll see what we can do with that. Wraith is going to play out another power. She's going to play the infrared eyepiece. This one gives her the power to reveal the top 2 cards of the villain deck. One of them on top and the other on the bottom, and then draw a card. Judging from the trajectory of the angle and figuring the wind at 6 knots per hour, north by northeast as per this morning's weather report, the Wraith, Freedom 5, number 159. But for her power, she's going to use Razor Ordnance to hit the automated turret for another 3 damage. Because I want to try to stop taking all that extra damage. That's it for Wraith. Now let's move over to... Actually, Wraith's got to draw a card for her turn, so she will draw another infrared eyepiece. That's it for Wraith. Now let's move over to Fanatic. I think we're going to go ahead and wipe out that automated turret here on Fanatic's turn. To do that, she will start by playing a Sanctifying Strike. Fanatic will deal 1 target, 1 melee damage. You may draw a card, and Fanatic regains 1 HP. The team was killed by an angry human with wings and a sword. It was terrible. Gene-bound soldier, Freedom 5, number 536. We'll aim that 1 damage at the automated turret, bringing it down to 2. Fanatic will regain 1 HP, going back up to 20. And then she'll draw a card. She will draw from that. Absolution. Perfect. When this card enters play, Fanatic regains 1 HP. Power, select melee, fire, or radiant as this fire's damage type. Fanatic deals 1 target 3 damage of that type. For now, we'll use Exorcism, though, which will wipe out the automated turret. And then Fanatic will draw. Smite the Transgressor. 1 shot, Fanatic deals 1 target 2 melee damage. You may use an additional power this turn. So that could be very useful, but for now, that's it for Fanatic. Now let's move up to Nightmist. Okay, looking here at... We're going to play a Heedless Lash, which will let Nightmist regain 2 HP. Does she get that? I think she probably gets that after it resolves. So reveal the top card of your deck. Nightmist deals herself and 1 other target that card's square infernal damage. Put the revealed card into your hand or into play. by the light of the stars and the power of the untold gods. Nightmist, Tome of the Bazaar, number 6. So we'll reveal the top card of the deck. Nightmist will reveal an Elder Ring for 1 damage. Increase damage dealt by Nightmist by 1. Power, draw a card, destroy this card. We're probably going to put this into play, probably as part of the effect. No one is master of the ring. It chooses whom it will serve. The master, the curse number 3. So I don't think that would be in play yet. But Nightmist does regain 2 HP. And then she'll deal herself and one other target that card's infernal damage, which in this case is 1. So Nightmist will do our first damage of the game to Ambuscade, bringing him down to 49. The one peril of that, though, is that Nightmist will now be dealing herself 3 infernal damage to use her power, but she'll still draw 2 cards out of it. First up, she will draw Mist Form for 3, and Oblivion with 4. And then for turn, she will draw Planar Banishment, 1-shot spell. Reveal the top card of your deck. Nightmist deals... Well, actually, I think we have another Planar Banishment in hand. We do. So actually, let's go through this real quick. Nightmist deals herself that card's square infernal damage, which will be +1 because of the ring. You may destroy up to that card's ongoing and/or environment cards. Put the revealed card into your trash. That's it for Nightmist. Let's move over to Absolute Zero. I think Absolute Zero, we're going to play out a Coolant Blast. It's an ongoing power. Absolute Zero deals 1 non-hero target X cold damage, where X is the amount of fire damage that has been dealt to Absolute Zero since the end of your last turn. Once in a while, you just gotta improvise. Absolute Zero, the Iceman Cometh, number 3. Absolute Zero will use his Elemental Wrath to deal Ambuscade another 2 damage, which will bring him down to 47. And then Absolute Zero will draw Frostbound Drain. Absolute Zero deals 1 non-hero target 3 cold damage and himself 3 fire. Okay, that's it for Absolute Zero. Now let's move back over to the Temple of Zhu Long. Next card from the environment turn. There's nothing for any start of turn effects. We have another Shinobi Assassin. So it's going to pop the mine again. Which will deal us another 2 sonic damage. I think, honestly, this environment has been more hindrance than help. Mainly because it's popping mines recklessly, which is very annoying. Let's see, the non-environment target with the lowest damage. So yeah, we definitely don't want to put them in play because they're going to start pinging us for damage. Anyway, that's it for the Temple of Zhu Long. Let's move over to Ambuscade. No start of turn effects here, so Ambuscade will find Vanish. Search the villain trash and the villain deck for the personal cloaking device. Put it into play. If you search the villain deck, shuffle it. Come out. Today, preferably, Tachyon, Freedom 5, number 703. God bless it. Personal cloaking device is down here. We'll give the villain deck a quick shuffle. Well, now we found a new target. All right. Personal cloaking device with 9 HP. When this card enters play, flip Ambuscade's villain character cards to his invisible stalker side. What cannot be seen cannot be avoided. Ambuscade, Freedom 5 Annual number 11. Oh joy. Well, we definitely need to blast that thing down right quick. And then Ambuscade flips to Invisible Stalker. At the start of the villain turn, if the personal cloaking device is not in play, flip Ambuscade's villain character card. Ambuscade is immune to damage. At the end of the villain turn, Ambuscade deals the hero target with the lowest HP, H-1 energy damage. So yeah, we need to take out that personal cloaking device, like I said, pronto. Let's see what we can do with that in the start of our next hero round, and we'll go say hello first to the Wraith. I think given the problem that the environment's starting to cause, now is probably a good time to play our Mega Computer. Reduce damage dealt by environment cards by 1. All the human knowledge and computation power joined in one machine. Tachyon, Freedom 5 Annual number 5. And then for Wraith's power, she will use Razor Ordnance to deal 3 damage to the personal cloaking device. We need to get him flipped like now. And then draw for turn, Wraith will find Micro-Targeting Computer. Increase projectile damage dealt by the Wraith by 2. I'm very happy to see that, to the point where that'll probably be Wraith's next card she plays. That's it for Wraith. Now let's move over to Fanatic. We are going to start Fanatic's turn off with her Blade, Absolution. When this card enters play, Fanatic regains 1 HP. As a power, select Melee, Fire, or Radiant as this card's damage type. Fanatic deals 1 target 3 damage of that type. Absolution you are called, and Absolution you shall deliver. Fanatic, Absolution number 1. Fanatic goes up to 19 HP, and then she will select Radiant and deal 3 damage to the personal cloaking device. And then for turn, Fanatic will draw Wrathful Retribution. Discard 3 cards. If you do, Fanatic deals 1 target X Radiant damage, where X is Fanatic's maximum HP minus her current HP. Ooh. As much damage as we're taking, that could be very handy. But that's it for Fanatic. Let's move over to Nightmist. I think with Ambuscade on his Invisible Stalker side right now, we're just going to take an opportunity to play out Mist form and make her immune to damage for a little bit. Nightmist is immune to damage. You can't play cards or use powers. You may draw an additional card at the start during your draw phase. At the start of your turn, you may destroy this card. Is someone there? Burglar, Nightmist number 7. So Nightmist can't use powers, but she will draw an additional card. So she'll draw 2 cards during her draw phase. Nightmist will draw. First up, Astral Premonition. Power, discard a card. If you do, reveal the top 2 cards of a deck. Put 1 on top of that deck and 1 on the bottom of that deck, and it's got a number of 2. And another Elder Ring, which we probably are going to be getting the one we got out of play. That's it for Nightmist. Let's move over to Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is going to use one of his Frostbound Drains to deal 1 non-hero target 3 cold damage, but he's going to take 3 fire damage himself. 2 cold? Welcome to my life. Absolute Zero, the Iceman Cometh number 7. So that will take care of the personal cloaking device, which means Ambuscade will flip back over at the start of his next turn, but Absolute Zero will take 3 fire damage to go down to 15, which could make our Coolant Blast a little bit useful. Absolute Zero will then draw Impale. Play this card next to a non-hero target. At the start of your turn, Absolute Zero deals that target 2 cold damage. If the target leaves play, destroy this card. Ooh. I think I know where that's going on Absolute Zero's next turn, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here because we have to go over to the Temple of Zhu Long for the environment turn. Hopefully we won't have another problematic card with the Temple of Zhu Long. Mysterious Ceremonies. At the start of the environment turn, reveal the top card of the environment deck. If it is a target, discard it. Otherwise, put it into play. At the end of the environment turn, one player may either draw 3 cards or play 1 card. If no cards are drawn or played this way, destroy this card. Chime of a bronze bell, hair of a black and gold cat, fragrance of holy lotus blossoms grown on the highest Himalayan peak, all necessary components. So that goes into play, and okay, they're not doing anything. Those Shinobi Assassins aren't doing anything, so we haven't been skipping over them. That's it for the Temple of Zhu Long. Now let's move over to Ambuscade. Since we made the personal cloaking device disappear almost as quickly as it came out, Ambuscade flips back over to Superhuman Hunter's side. And his next card coming out, Charged Attacks, ongoing. Deal increased damage dealt by Ambuscade by 1. Whenever a device is destroyed, Ambuscade deals each target 2 energy damage. Tyler, is this what you were worried about? Because it's bad. The Wraith, Freedom 5, annual number 11. So Ambuscade is now dealing the hero target with the highest HP, H projectile damage. So he will be dealing Fanatic 4 projectile damage, bringing her down to 15. So now we need to start turning up the pressure on Ambuscade after the end of that villain turn. With that in mind, let's move down to Wraith and start our next round of hero turns. I'm going to suit musing to words. Actually, Nightmist shouldn't have taken the... Never mind. I'm going to suit my musing about Wraith's last draw to words, to actions, as we play the micro-targeting computer. Increase projectile damage dealt by the Wraith by 2. Every instrument is designed to combat crime and snare its perpetrators. The Wraith, Mystery Comics number 214. And then Wraith will throw the Razor Ordnance at Ambuscade for 5 damage, bringing him down to 42. I want to start taking big bites out of Ambuscade's health. That'll do it for Wraith. Now let's move over to Fanatic. This is definitely a time to go into race mode. Fanatic will continue that with Smite the Transgressor. One shot, Fanatic deals 1 target 2 melee damage. You may use an additional power this turn. I swear on all that is holy, you shall fall. Fanatic, Mystery Comics number 368. So she'll deal 2 melee damage to Ambuscade, and she can use 2 powers this turn. She'll start with Exorcism for another 1 and 1, bringing Ambuscade down to 38, and then Radiant for another 3 damage to Ambuscade, which will bring him down to 35. That's it for... Actually, let me grab another die here so I can track the fire damage absolute zeros taken since the end of his last turn. Let's move over to Nightmist. Nightmist will start off by destroying Mist Form. And then she's going to play Planar Banishment. Just reveal the top card of her deck. Nightmist deals herself that card's infernal damage. It's +1 though. You may destroy up to that card's ongoing and or environment cards. Put the revealed card into your trash. So the card we reveal is a Tome of Elder Magic. Yikes, that's dealing Nightmist 5 damage, and I think we are going to make the Elder Ring F off on her turn. But we can destroy up to that card's ongoing and or environment cards. We're going to get rid of charged attacks. And I don't want the Shinobi Assassins going on top of the deck right now, because they're going to be hitting Nightmist, and that's the last thing she needs right now. So we are going to stop the damage there. Then for a power, she is going to destroy the Elder Ring to draw a card. So she will draw Enlightenment. Reveal the top card of your deck. Nightmist deals herself that card's number infernal damage. One player may draw that card. Put the revealed card into your trash. Actually, I forgot Nightmist is Master of Magic, so that was another 1 HP, which she will gain the 1 HP from that. So she'll be back up to 12. Not that that's a great spot for her to be in right now. So Enlightenment was in her hand from that. And then she will draw. Mistbound. Discard 2 cards. If you do, you may select a deck. Until cards from that deck cannot be played until the start of your next turn. We could probably use that to lock Ambuscade out if we need to, and we might. Anyway, that's it for Nightmist. Let's move over to Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero is going to play Impale, and this is going next to Ambuscade. At the start of your turn, this has to go next to a non-hero target, which Ambuscade is a non-hero target. At the start of your turn, Absolute Zero deals that target 2 cold damage. If the target leaves play, destroy this card. The nice thing is if Ambuscade leaves play, we'll have won the game. Legacy. You're out of line, Frost. Absolute Zero. I'm just getting started. A day in the life, Absolute Zero. So that will go next to Ambuscade. We'll put that right there. And then he'll use the Coolant Blast to deal 3 damage to Ambuscade, since that's how much fire damage he's taken since the end of his last turn. Then Absolute Zero will draw. Onboard Module Installation. 1 shot, you may draw a card. Search your deck for a module card and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. You may play a card. Okay, that's it for Absolute Zero. Now let's move over to the Temple of Zhu Long. So I had a slight bit of a screw-up with the Mysterious Ceremonies, because what happened was at the start of the environment turn, at the end of the environment turn that came into play, it should have triggered, because nobody had the option to either draw a card, draw 3 cards, or play a card. That should have immediately been destroyed. So our next card coming out is a Resurrection Ritual. Whenever a non-character card villain target is destroyed, put it under this card. At the end of the environment turn, if the true form or Zhu Long is in play, put the bottom card under this card into play. When this card is destroyed, put all cards under this card in the villain trash. The shinobi halted their chanting, and a light emanated from the ceremonially prepared corpse. Another returned from the brink, intoned the master. And of course, the shinobi assassins aren't doing anything when they're in play. So that will do it for the Temple of Zhu Long. We'll move over to Ambuscade once I get a new battery. We definitely need to keep the pressure on Ambuscade here. Let's see if the card coming out will let us do that. Quick Stim Patch. Ambuscade regains HP, so he'll go back up to 36. We'll shuffle the villain trash back into the villain deck, and then play the top card of the villain deck. I just threw him out the window. How is he already on his way back up? Haka, the deadliest game number 5. Good question, Haka. So that presumably is not part of the villain trash getting shuffled in. At least that's how I always ruled cards like that. Hopefully we can bury that anything related to the personal cloaking device nice and deep. And then we'll play Snatch and Grab. 1 shot. Ambuscade deals the hero target with the highest HP H-2 melee and H-1 energy damage. Huh. Some god. Ambuscade, the deadliest game number 1. Hero target with the highest HP, that's Wraith right now. So H-2 melee, 2 melee, and 3 energy. Jeez. That brings Wraith down to 11. Well, Wraith took some damage, but we can definitely keep the pressure on Ambuscade here. So let's do just that by moving over to the Wraith. I almost forgot to do Ambuscade's end of turn effect. So he would deal the hero target with the highest HP, H-1 projectile damage. That right now is either Fanatic or Absolute Zero for 3 damage. I'll deal it to Fanatic, and I've got a reason I'm doing that. As for Wraith, she will play... she's going to play a Stun Bolt. Power. Wraith deals 1 target, 1 projectile damage. Until the start of your next turn, reduce all damage dealt by that target by 1. Battle is all about control. Controlling yourself and your opponent. The Wraith, Freedom 5, number 299. That's probably something I should have used earlier, but we are going to fire 5 damage from the Razor Ordnance at Ambuscade, so that'll bring him down to 31. And then Wraith will draw Throwing Knives, Equipment Limited. Power, the Wraith deals up to 3 targets, 1 projectile damage each. Alright, that's it for Wraith. Let's move over to Fanatic. Fanatic is about to drop a bomb here on Ambuscade because she's going to use Wrathful Retribution. 1 shot, discard 3 cards. If you do, Fanatic deals 1 target X radiant damage, where X is Fanatic's maximum HP minus her current HP. Look at that, I've got 3 cards that I can discard to it, so we're going to deal 1 target X radiant damage, where X is Fanatic's maximum minus current HP. Fanatic's max HP is 30, minus current is 12. That sounds to me like Ambuscade's taking 18 damage, going down to 13. As for the flavor text, you have been judged and found sorely wanting. Perish! Fanatic, Absolution number 19. Very much a play we needed for Fanatic. And then she'll use Absolution to deal another 3 radiant damage to Ambuscade, bringing him down to 10. And then we'll draw a card. Sacrosanct Martyr. Power. Fanatic deals herself up to 5 radiant damage. Fanatic then deals 1 target X radiant damage, where X is the amount of radiant damage dealt to Fanatic this turn. What you call a sacrifice, I consider a necessity. Fanatic number 14. That's it for Fanatic. Now let's move over to Nightmist. Looking through all of this, we can actually just win the game on our next round. So we're going to play Mistbound to get there. 1-shot spell. Discard 2 cards. If you do, you may select a deck. Cards from that deck cannot be played until the start of your next turn. You have not heard the last of me. Grand Warlord Voss, Nightmist number 61. So Nightmist will discard a Call Forth and a Mist Form. She'll also gain 1 HP, go up to 13, and then we will choose Ambuscade's villain deck. So cards from that deck can't be played until the start of Nightmist's next turn. Then she'll deal herself 2 infernal damage to draw 2 cards. First card up. Call Forth. Discard a card. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until the discarded card's number relics are revealed. Put the relics into your hand. Shuffle the other revealed cards back into your deck. And Master of Magic, which we already have in play. That's it for Nightmist. Let's move over to Absolute Zero. At the start of Absolute Zero's turn, Impale goes off and deals Ambuscade 2 cold damage, bringing him down to 8. Then he will play Onboard module installation. One shot, you may draw a card. Search your deck for a module card and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. You may play a card. What to wear, what to wear. Absolute Zero, Freedom 5 Annual, number 4. So we will draw a card. We will draw Horfire. One shot. Absolute Zero deals a target to cold damage, deals a second target to fire damage, and then deals himself 1 cold and 1 fire damage. And then the module that we want... let's see. Do we have anything that lets him heal? Do we have a module that lets him heal from taking fire damage? I don't think we do, actually. We do not appear to. Okay, so I think the only thing we can grab is an isothermic transducer. Yep. All right, so we'll take a look at the isothermic transducer. Equipment limited module. Whenever Absolute Zero is dealt fire damage, Absolute Zero deals 1 target that much cold damage. As for what we're playing, I think we are going to go ahead and play that out. Tachyon. But the laws of thermodynamics have nothing to do with have more to do with Absolute Zero. Look, lady, all I know is fire gets all weird around me. Freedom Fighter Annual, number 7. Well, it sure does. And then his power will be Elemental Wrath to let Absolute Zero deal 1 non-hero target 2 cold damage. So that'll bring Ambuscade down to 6. That's it for Absolute Zero. Let's move over to the environment deck. Temple of Zhu Long doesn't have much going on right now, but here we will find Apprentice Poisoner, 3 health, Dragon Student. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the 3 non-environment targets with the lowest HP 1 toxic damage each. When this card is destroyed, it first deals each non-environment target 1 toxic damage. I learned much from the Poisoners in that temple, mused the operative as she slid another needle into Knife's twitching back. Perhaps too much. We'll get another die out for that. And then she will deal 3 non-environment targets with the lowest HP 1 toxic damage. That's Ambuscade. 3 lowest. That'll be the Shinobi Assassin. 3 non-environment targets, so never mind. We can't hit the Shinobi Assassins. That will end up being Wraith and Nightmist. Alright, then when this card is destroyed, so it's not doing anything here. With that, let's move over to Ambuscade for a very short villain turn. Thanks to Nightmist's Mistbound, we actually can't play cards from the top of Ambuscade's deck until the start of Nightmist's next turn, except there won't be a next turn. Well, there won't be a next turn for Nightmist. There will be one more turn. Ambuscade will deal the hero target with the highest HP, H-1 projectile. That's Absolute Zero, going down to 12. And after the scare of a burst of early damage, let's move down to the Wraith and let's finish this game off, shall we? Wraith is going to play out throwing knives, because why not? Equipment limited. Power, Wraith deals up to 3 targets, 1 projectile damage each, which is actually 3 because of the micro-targeting computer. The wrong person in the right place can make all the difference. The Wraith, Sunrise number 4. Except here we don't need anything cute in the power phase. Wraith will use her Razor Ordnance to bring Ambuscade down to 0, and that will defeat Ambuscade and win us the game. That will do it for this playthrough of Sentinels of the Multiverse. I do really enjoy this game as a way to play a superhero deck without the challenges of deck building. There is something to be said for kind of putting your own personal touch on a deck in Marvel Champions, but there's a virtue here, like I said, of being able to just pull out a deck and go with it. I do plan on playing Marvel Champions later this month, but I'm getting slightly spoilerific about that. And during Pino with Phoenix, I will talk a little bit more about Sentinels versus Marvel Champions. But I'm rambling a bit, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Still got a busy day coming up on the channel. Later this afternoon, we are going to be playing the Cards of Cthulhu by DDG, and at the end of that stream, I will be cracking the Advent calendar for today. Later this evening as well, we're going to have Game 2 of my replay of the 2017-18 Stanley Cup Finals that I started last night from Stratomatic Hockey, where it'll be the Washington Capitals once again visiting the Vegas Golden Knights. And tonight I will be starting to try my hand at some advanced in Strat Hockey. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.